We believe that through education, through research and the collaborations, we can empower the next generation of leaders and innovators to create a better world. Together, let us ignite the spirit of entrepreneurship for sustainable development and pave the way for a brighter and more sustainable future. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for opening up your doors and your universities and your kindness to us. We will cherish these relationships for years to come.
Universities are known to be breeding grounds for innovative ideas and theoretical frameworks, fostering critical thinking, research, and the development of new knowledge. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, bring these ideas to real life, translating theory into practice, thus bringing about tangible solutions that address real-world challenges.
Entrepreneurship for sustainable development is about developing nations. It is about developing our communities, but specifically it is about seeing human beings in alienated areas under the poverty line helped to rise beyond the challenges and the difficulties of this life, live lives are dignified. It is about our children in Africa and elsewhere in the world. It is about our neighbors. It is about church members, for those of us who go to church, to help them live higher lives with higher purpose and better lives.
That's the amplified sound we want. But if it so happened,
Professor Calixte, ndi umuyobozi wa kaminuza ya East African University Rwanda, akaba kaminuza ifite ishami Kigali na headquarters ziri Nyagatare. Kaminuza yatangiye mu 2015 nibwo twatangiye tangiriye Nyagatare, dutangirana amashami 6. Muri amashami 6 dufite ishami rya film making and film production, dufite ishami rya mass communication, dufite ishami rya industrial arts and design, dufite ishami rya business administration and business studies, dufite ishami ry'uburezi, tukagira n'ishami rya leisure tourism, hotel management. Abagabo ni nka 42%, abakobwa ni nka 58%. Ngubu ikoranabuhanga twarigize imibereho yacu ya buri munsi. Icya mbere cy'umunyeshuri uza muri iyi kaminuza ashobora kwapurayinga binyuze online. Ku banyamahanga bo rero dusaba ko babanza kubona equivalence itangwa na Minisiteri y'Uburezi. Ireme rero ry'uburezi hano tugira ibyo twita continuous assessment test, kuvuga ibizamini bikorwa uko umunyeshuri agenda yiga module. Babazwa mu buryo butandukanye, ushobora guhabwa quiz, ushobora guhabwa kati zisanzwe, ushobora guhabwa na assignment. Ariko noneho no mu kizamini ibibazo byacu ko biteye ni ibibazo bikubaza ibyo wize, bigusaba gutekereza, bigusaba gukemura ibibazo. Noneho mu bibazo byacu habamo case study, kuvuga ngo tuguha inyandiko yanditswe n'abahanga cyangwa ikibazo cyangwa umwandiko wakozwe, muri uwo mwandiko hakavamo ibibazo. Mbere na mbere ugomba gusoma, ntabwo ari ukuvuga ngo nibyo nakwandikiye aho ngaho, ahubwo birasaba wa munyeshuri gutekereza, ariko no mu kubishyira muri context ya application yayo. Scholarship yacu ntabwo yishyura. Urazi scholarship ni loan scheme, uzishyura warangije uri gukora. Iyi rero yo turaguhereza ni grant abashinze kaminuza batanze ku banyeshuri bifuza ko bishobora kuzagera.
We believe that through education, through research and the collaborations, we can empower the next generation of leaders and innovators to create a better world. Together, let us ignite the spirit of entrepreneurship for sustainable development and pave the way for a brighter and more sustainable future. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for opening up your doors and your universities and your kindness to us. We will cherish these relationships for years to come.
Universities are known to be breeding grounds for innovative ideas and theoretical frameworks, fostering critical thinking, research, and the development of new knowledge. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, bring these ideas to real life, translating theory into practice, thus bringing about tangible solutions that address real-world challenges.
Entrepreneurship for sustainable development is about developing nations. It is about developing our communities, but specifically it is about seeing human beings in alienated areas under the poverty line, helped to rise beyond the challenges and the difficulties of this life, live lives are dignified. It is about our children in Africa and elsewhere in the world. It is about our neighbors. It is about church members, for those of us who go to church, to help them live higher lives with higher purpose and better lives.
We believe that through education, through research and the collaborations, we can empower the next generation of leaders and innovators to create a better world. Together, let us ignite the spirit of entrepreneurship for sustainable development and pave the way for a brighter and more sustainable future. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for opening up your doors and your universities and your kindness to us. We will cherish these relationships for years to come.
Universities are known to be breeding grounds for innovative ideas and theoretical frameworks, fostering critical thinking, research, and the development of new knowledge. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, bring these ideas to real life, translating theory into practice, thus bringing about tangible solutions that address real-world challenges.
Entrepreneurship for sustainable development is about developing nations. It is about developing our communities, but specifically it is about seeing human beings in alienated areas under the poverty line helped to rise beyond the challenges and the difficulties of this life, live lives are dignified. It is about our children in Africa and elsewhere in the world. It is about our neighbors. It is about church members, for those of us who go to church, to help them live higher lives with higher purpose and better lives.
We believe that through education, through research and the collaborations, we can empower the next generation of leaders and innovators to create a better world. Together, let us ignite the spirit of entrepreneurship for sustainable development and pave the way for a brighter and more sustainable future. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for opening up your doors and your universities and your kindness to us. We will cherish these relationships for years to come.
Universities are known to be breeding grounds for innovative ideas and theoretical frameworks, fostering critical thinking, research, and the development of new knowledge. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, bring these ideas to real life, translating theory into practice, thus bringing about tangible solutions that address real-world challenges.
Entrepreneurship for sustainable development is about developing nations. It is about developing our communities, but specifically it is about seeing human beings in alienated areas under the poverty line helped to rise beyond the challenges and the difficulties of this life, live lives are dignified. It is about our children in Africa and elsewhere in the world. It is about our neighbors. It is about church members, for those of us who go to church, to help them live higher lives with higher purpose and better lives.
We believe that through education, through research and the collaborations, we can empower the next generation of leaders and innovators to create a better world. Together, let us ignite the spirit of entrepreneurship for sustainable development and pave the way for a brighter and more sustainable future. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for opening up your doors and your universities and your kindness to us. We will cherish these relationships for years to come.
Universities are known to be breeding grounds for innovative ideas and theoretical frameworks, fostering critical thinking, research, and the development of new knowledge. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, bring these ideas
he has served in the Zion for the last 30 years. He has served in the major roles to enhance the lives of men and women. He has also experience in terms of entrepreneurship by connecting many products and services that created world-class growth and development personally, himself, and professionally. His passion is conveying the message of the gospel to accomplish everything we do in life. And that is why he's here. So, is to complement our spiritual life with our health living life. Please join me to welcome Reverend on stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter, for that fine introduction. I stand this morning, good morning. Stand this morning, Ricky Armick is senior pastor, but I stand this morning on behalf of Cimpad. I'd like to say a few acknowledgments this morning. I'd like to acknowledge the founder, Dr. Harvey White, to a very capable chairperson in the personality of Dr. Peggy Valentine, also to the esteemed Dr. Leslie Battle, Dr. Gamariel, who has shown himself completely friendly. In the absence of Vice Chancellor Calixte Cabero, East African University of Rwanda, to all of the esteemed colleagues, whether it be foreign or domestic, to all of especially our present and future entrepreneurs who shall contribute to the purpose that we have gathered, to contribute to the sustainable development of a continent that I think we all can agree that we love and respect, our golly, Rwanda. It is my happy privilege to speak to you this morning from the subject or topic of the African American experience of entrepreneurship. I think it's also wise to inform you where there are some key points that can be measured, and there are also some points that cannot be measured simply because of the demographics that we are involved in. America has its nuances, and so does Africa, and so we have to take those into consideration. I've listened all week long for some research and development, but I want to offer to you, and they've been all incredibly nice to know that we are working together to solve a very seismic problem. But as a practitioner, my focus this morning is on entrepreneurship based on a personal experience that may be helpful for students that may be here and or faculty that may be here that maybe can use this information as they prepare their students for their careers. My past experience has been a beloved appreciation for the gospel, but I've served also as a hireling, and I've done some amazing things I think that you will find this morning to help not only you personally, but will help Kigali, Rwanda. African Americans have always been entrepreneurial. And I think that's perhaps true whether you're African or American. Let me get this disclaimer out of the way. I am really African American, and in that order. I'm African first. My first love is Africa. And I want you to hear me this morning from that perspective. But this spirit can be traced back to slavery during the Jim Crow era and civil rights movement. And despite institutional racism or segregation, inequalities in education, job opportunities, housing policies, and policing, African Americans have found a way forward to buy property, to build businesses, to educate their children, to use the court system to protect and safeguard our freedoms. I'm glad to say that I have to give credit where credit is due. God has been very instrumental in our accomplishments. As an outline, I got too many things I want to cover, but I'm just going to be absolutely accurate in terms of the time. So I'm looking for someone to give me a clue when I'm running out of time. It'll be okay. But I want you to see entrepreneurship, Rwanda, as a benefit. A benefit in America because Africans found that they did not want to be housed in businesses and franchises where we were manipulated, but we had a desire to become our own bosses. We wanted to be able to cultivate and cut out our own futures. And the best way we found to do that was to circumvent some of the plots or plans or traps that were set for us. And based on my skills and experiences as a successful entrepreneur, the following things that I'm going to offer you for consideration ought to be realized from a serious intent. because some of the content can be found in business journals all over the world. But what I want to tell you about is business plans, finance, and marketing, and the proper approach to entrepreneurship as an individual. Because it has to start with a person singularly, or a group of people who have the same goal, same mind, same ideology, moving in the same direction. And so I don't think it's robbery to say this morning that the first thing you need to do as an entrepreneur is to identify a need. You must have a need, because in different times and areas, and as needs arises, products and services are born. And when providing a product, you got to know your product inside and out. The worst thing you could do is try to sell something you know nothing really about, because you're going to be discovered soon after the introduction. But product knowledge is particularly important, and when served with a level of enthusiasm, it can lead to some pretty lofty and financial appreciations later on down the road. Not only that, you must have a dream. And I'm not talking about a dream like Martin Luther King had a dream. He had a great dream. But what is your dream? What do you aspire to do as an entrepreneur, Kigali? What is your dream? Because dreaming is the way you get to where you're going. If you're not going to dream, you won't get far. And I'm telling you now, even I stand here at the tender age of whatever that is, I still dream all the time. Amen. And I want you to understand, if you become an entrepreneur with a dream in the simplest terms, here's what your dream should do. Your dream should simply find a need in society and then fill that need. And the skills needed to be successful, your dream will cause you to go in places before you get there by faith. Whether it's in business or whether it's a service or a product, it must be carried out with the highest quality of enthusiasm. You got to believe in you first before you can convince someone else to believe in you. And then you must believe that customer service is your number one friend in getting a job done. Someone will go along with you. Here's what customers in America love. Customers in America loves leverage. They love the fact that they can negotiate. That's why I know it's so disheartening when I go to the markets here. The first thing I find myself doing, and I hate to do it, but I have to do it because that's the American in me. I can't give you what you ask for it. I gotta say, wait a minute, can I give you $4 instead of $5? Because customers like leverage. Yeah. To assist you in reaching full customer satisfaction, an entrepreneur must do a couple of things, and these are very simple. They must carefully listen to the customer, whether they are complaining or complimenting. You must listen to your customer. Your customer will tell you what they want, and you must be willing to make the adjustment to accommodate the customer. Then you must be prospecting. Where am I going to share my product? Where am I going to share my service? Where will I go with it? You must do the footwork that it takes, the investigation that it takes, the research that it takes to get your product or your service wherever you wish to land it. Prospecting is the term used to assist in making the decision to become an entrepreneur. In prospecting, you answer the obvious question, who will I seek to provide my service, or where will I go with my idea? Prospecting, very, very important. But then you must have a consultation with those who are in your personal circle. You got to say, Harvey White, let's talk a while. Dr. Peggy, can I have your ear for a minute? You got to call Dr. Leslie Battle and say, Battle, can we have a talk about a situation that I'm considering? And when you get together with those persons in your circle, they help you make a collaborative decision on how best to land your product or your service. In the early days, entrepreneurs would simply consult the family. Mom and dad, sisters and brothers. Listen, bro, let me talk to you a minute. Mom, let me talk to you. Dad, let me talk to you a minute. I've got an idea. And what they would do is they go down to the church and they would bring your idea up before the church, and the church would say, yes, great idea, let's go forward. And we have to use those same principles, because if it's not broke, you don't need to try to fix it. It'll work. If it worked then, it'll work now. Amen. So I want you to understand, consulting with your inner circle is very important. Now, being burnt out before you get started is a serious concern. Some people give up before they really get started because they really can't clear out the timber and move the forest aside so that they can see clearly where they're going. And so that's why it's important to have resilience and determination, because if you have a bona fide idea, a true idea, a real concern, I tell you what the biggest adversity in America is for an African American entrepreneur is the opposite race. They're problematic there and they're problematic here. That's probably a problem we cannot solve today, and I'm not going to try to. But I can tell you this. If mama and daddy found a way around it then, we can find a way around it right now. We don't have to sit in line and play their games. We got to find a way to do what we call hopscotch. You got to jump over some stuff and then jump over some more stuff and then get over some more stuff until you get where you're going. You can't just sit there and play this game, because if you play this game 100 years from now, we'll still be saying the same thing. I know I'm doing all right. But now listen here. You got to be resilient and you can't turn around. Look at somebody and say, don't turn back. Because it's a growth mindset. It's in your mind. If you can't see it, if you can't believe it before it comes into fruition, you're already doomed. You got to understand it before you get there. Listen, in addition to resilience and determination, the African American or the African entrepreneur have the power of a growth mindset. Yeah, let me take you there. When we was getting ready to leave that plantation, we had some meetings outside of Master's ear. We went around the corner and we talked about it. We said, listen, when the cock crows tonight, meet me down by the old big oak tree. We getting out of here. That's how you did it then. That's how you do it now. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Well, we got to be able to overcome some obstacles, because we had a problem then too, because we had what we call as a house Negro that would tell our situation, and when we got where we thought we was going, we was trapped. But we still found another way around. If you're going to do business, you must learn to overcome obstacles. Overcoming obstacles are numerous. No matter what continent you sit on, they're always going to be, if you got something that's really good, somebody going to try to stop you. You know why? Because it's not their idea. They're jealousy all among us. There are people who you think would be your friend are going to be people who are trying to stop you because they don't want to see us. I don't know why it is. They don't want to see you grow and go nowhere. But listen, when those obstacles come, sometimes you can figure it out on pen and paper, but then every once in a while you got to go down on your knees and talk to God about it. You got to say, Yahweh, come quickly. I need a way out. If he can carry the children through the Red Sea, he can get us out of Kigali. He can get us out of America. He can take us anywhere we need to go. I wish I had me one witness up in here. You got to understand that these trials did not come to destroy us. They came to lift us up. Do y'all hear me? I'm almost done now. Listen, But higher learning cannot be taken for granted. You must invest in yourself. Sell yourself first. And you must present your best self every time you leave home. You got to look the part. You got to believe that your hair's in place. You got to brush your teeth, comb your hair, clean your shoes, clean your clothes, look like you're going somewhere. Because if you don't look like you're going somewhere, you're probably not. Am I still doing all right? I know my time is up, y'all. I got to go. All right. I'm going to bring it down here now. Listen. Invest in more knowledge. Knowledge is power. Y'all say that with me now. Knowledge is what? Power. Now I want y'all to say it like I'm saying it. Knowledge is what? Power. That's what it is. It'll get you where you cannot go. It'll open a door you can't open. You got to invest in knowledge. And let me tell you what knowledge is. Knowledge is enough that you can accumulate as much of it as you can stand. And then when you got a whole lot of it, it turns, it evolves from knowledge, and then it turns into wisdom. Y'all don't hear me. It turns into something bigger than knowledge. Now you can share it with someone else. Believe in yourself. I'm getting ready to close. To be successful business entrepreneurs, whether you're African or African American, the principles are the same. I'm going to close by saying, don't invest in any venture without doing your homework.